Hi guys. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hey everybody. Hi, happy Friday. How's everyone doing? Let's see who's on right now. Let me know if y'all can hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up or something. I'm still trying to figure out this internet situation, and I have my air on, and it always cuts on every time I need to like record something or say something. So I don't know if it's blasting in the microphone. Okay, all is good. You can hear me. Okay, great. Yeah. Okay. Well, I am so happy you guys are here because y'all, we really need to talk. Like, I am having more issues with YouTube, and it's out of the blue. It is not something that like I had any sort of warning about. There was no inkling that I was, in hot water with YouTube. And it's something that I realized from all the research that I have been doing over the last like 24 hours is a bigger problem. And we're going to get into why. So first and foremost, just to catch y'all up, this isn't my first rodeo with having issues with YouTube. I started having issues with YouTube a couple years ago when there was this banner that popped up on my channel that said invalid traffic. And I talked a little bit about this last time I was on live. I want to say that was like last week or maybe the week before last. I can't even remember. The days are running together. But we were just talking, and I had started talking about, because someone had asked me about my new channel. And that's when I was saying, well, it's not the same as my second channel, the Degrees and Career channel. That's a brand new one. But anyway, not to go off on a tangent here. Back in 2023, YouTube had this thing, and I really do believe it was like a bug, where they would say that the views you were getting, you were faking those views. You were somehow sending traffic in the thousands to your video. And that's when I found this like community on Twitter where it was affecting a lot of content creators. And it was scary because a lot of people were getting their channels removed. Like one day they just get on YouTube, it is gone. Their channel's gone. And then they had where people were being demonetized. So you can make videos and upload them, but you're not going to get paid. And then they had it also, which affected me, where like they slash your AdSense by like anywhere from like 50% to 90% overnight. And that's what happened to me. And so a lot of people, they just said, hey, it's been real, it's been cool. And they left YouTube altogether. I was just like, you know what? This isn't something that I do because I'm just, trying to do something real quick and make a quick buck. First rule of YouTube, don't live off of YouTube. So I was like, hey, I'm good as long as you guys don't take my platform. Kept posting, and it still hasn't ever recovered 100%, but at least I'm not in YouTube jail, which was another thing that happened to me. So somewhere around that time, I realized you can go to YouTube jail. I did not know you can go to YouTube jail. And I went to YouTube jail because I tried to post 3 videos in a day. So this was a while ago. Again, this is like 2 years ago almost now. I remember I was telling y'all like, hey, I have time. So I'm going to post multiple videos. Like I'm going to treat y'all. And everyone was like, yeah, post the videos, Delilah. So I'm making the videos, sending them to my editor, making videos. Like I'm at my desk all day. And by the time I post my 3rd video, YouTube sends me this email where it's like, you can't post for a while. You posted too many videos. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I did not know this was a thing. I see channels post multiple times a day. Okay. They'll do a live. They'll chop that live up into like 5-10 videos, depending on how long the live is. And they'll be uploading videos all day, every day. So how I ended up in YouTube jail, I have no clue. So I said, I won't do that anymore, YouTube. Okay. I got past the invalid traffic thing. I got past the YouTube jail thing. I'm going to be good. And so everything was good until yesterday. I posted my video. And when I posted my video, I don't even think I got done sharing it on my Facebook page before I saw something that said, like, where'd your video go? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so I go to the video and the video is gone. And there was this thing that was saying like, this violates YouTube's community, whatever. So I'm like, what? Like, this is a video about jobs. Like, I literally have shared these companies in previous videos. You can go to these companies' websites right now and find these leads. And I verified the job right along with y'all in the video. That's why I go to their homepage. I always start off on the homepage. I go to their Glassdoor account, and then we go to the actual lead. And then I provide the link for the lead from their website, not from any third-party website, from the company's website. And I put that in the description box for y'all. Every single time. I have 1,400 something videos on my channel. Every single time. I do it the exact same way from day A. And for whatever reason, yesterday's video got removed. And so, of course, I appeal it because I don't know what I did wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. And YouTube, not to get ahead of myself, okay? But I appealed the video. And so it looked like there was a little box where you could tell them more information, because I need to plead my case. I didn't do anything wrong. And so I'm ready to, hey, I've got receipts. As soon as I hit appeal, it says, we'll get back in touch with you. So it didn't even let me put in any information about why I think I should win this appeal. It didn't let me do any of that. And so now it's just in YouTube's hands. So I'm researching frantically. And then on the back end in the Creator Studio, there is a little chat button that you can click to chat with a YouTube representative. It's allegedly a real person. And I'm asking it like, hey, I'm asking the person, hey, I just appealed my video. It got removed. Can you give me more insight? And then they put me on hold because it's all through chat. And so I'm thinking, okay, you're really looking through stuff. You wanted me to send you my channel link, the link to the video, blase, blase. And they finally come back and they give me just the most generic, canned answer. Yeah, you appealed it, so you'll just need to wait. I'm like, okay, well, can you get me in touch with my YouTube partner representative person? I think it's like they call it a brand manager. It's been like probably a couple of years since I have talked to my YouTube channel partner, brand manager, whatever. And so I was trying to email the last contact that I had on file, but I realized they had left me on red when I last tried to get in touch with them. And so they left me hanging with the invalid traffic thing. And then they, I guess I don't have one anymore because I'm like, I have one. Can you let me know who it is? It's been a couple of years, but I've done multiple meetings with these people. And so they were like, you don't have one anymore. It's a temporary thing. Since when? Since when is having a brand manager on your channel a temporary thing? Like once you get to a certain point, YouTube assigns you one. And they were very eager to meet with me in the past. And, you know, I'm thinking, okay, they're going to help me grow my channel. But what I soon realized is they're more so like salespeople for YouTube so that you do the things YouTube wants you to do. Because for a while, YouTube really wanted to push going live. And so when we first met, they were like, yeah, you should go live more often on your channel. That's really going to, you know, help your channel. So I'm thinking, hey, you're here to help me grow. Okay, I'll go live more often on my channel. And so I was doing that. And then they were pushing, let's meet again. Let's meet again. Okay, I've got time. I got a baby. And, you know, at the time I just had my oldest. And I'm like, okay, well, it's fine. I'll make some time. And then I started to put it together. Y'all are just glorified sales reps because y'all want me to, what is it? It's like channel memberships. So they really were pushing for me to do channel memberships. And I'm like, I'll think about it. But I already knew the answer was no because this was before I even had issues with YouTube. Okay. This is before the issues started. But I knew that it wouldn't be wise for me to create a channel membership on YouTube because I always have treated this as rented land. That's why I have an email list. And that's why I make sure like, hey, I email y'all every time I post a video because I want us to, you know, have a relationship outside of YouTube. Okay. In case YouTube ever starts acting funny. And it was a good decision that I did that from the very beginning because after, you know, they kind of cooled off with, you know, saying, hey, do the channel memberships and use this feature, use that feature. And I'm like, I don't really need to meet with y'all. That's when the invalid traffic, the YouTube jail thing. And I'm not saying because I didn't play along, that's what happened, but that's just the sequence of events. So anyway, back to yesterday, I'm trying to talk to the little agent person and they just give me this very generic answer. Oh, you're going to have to wait for the appeal. And so that's when I just go down a rabbit hole looking into, is this a thing that's going on? Is this like the invalid traffic thing that was happening to me? And it was very interesting because earlier this week, and I was talking to my video editor about it on chat. Like this is before they took my video down yesterday. I had watched this video from Think Media and there was a video about, he was like interviewing a content creator lawyer, and she was talking about how a lot of channels are getting copyright strikes and they're getting, like they're just having like all these strikes and community strikes and issues and stuff. And she had mentioned very specifically For example, channels that post a $50 per hour data entry job, those channels are, having issues. I've never posted a $50 per hour data entry job because I will be the first person to tell you that data entry does not pay that much. And in fact, I'm the, person telling you, hey, slow your roll if you think you're about to get paid, goo gobs of money with data entry, because it don't pay that. And like I've said this many, many, many times. So what she was actually talking about is, those channels that are very scammy, where, they put in the thumbnail, a screenshot of $5,000 PayPal deposit, a $10,000 PayPal deposit, or like the videos like make a faceless AI channel and get paid $600 a day. Here's how. And they'll go through the process with you in the video. But in the video, they'll even show, hey, I didn't make any money, but you could. And so they make these very big claims on their thumbnails and in the titles, and it's clickbait. And I know that people are watching this because YouTube tells me what my subscribers watch. So a lot of y'all actually watch those videos. YouTube tells me everything in the back end, except for the answer to my question. I want to know the answer to my question. I don't want to know what y'all like to watch. I want to know the answer to my question. I know what content I like to make, but I digress. Okay. So anyway, that is what looks like the issue is. And for whatever reason, YouTube woke up one day and said, you know what? We've allowed this on our platform forever and ever. We're going to start going after people who maybe get 5,000, 6,000 views. We're going to ignore the people who are actually the perpetrators getting $400,000 views off of this. We're going to go to the person who's actually sharing a job. And they actually say the pay in the job that they have on the thumbnail. Okay. And so for whatever reason, YouTube wants to start going after me and other content creators, but I haven't really heard a lot of people in this niche talk about having any sort of videos taken down. Now, I did see somebody, and I'm not going to say any names because I'm not being messy here. I'm just telling y'all what happened because, I want y'all to know what's going on. I did see someone say that they had a lot of their videos removed, but that person does what I just told y'all that I don't do. A lot of their stuff is scammy. Like I wouldn't even pay attention to any of it because it is literally a scam. And I even, was like, you know what, let me not be quick to judge this person's videos. This was a while ago. It looks too good to be true. I click and watch it, and they go through this whole elaborate process. And I think they ended up making like 1 cent. And that 1 cent probably wasn't even like real. It was just saying 1 cent. But on the thumbnail and in the video title, it said that you could make, thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars. So, think about those videos where someone's saying like, make all this money off of Google Maps, or make all this money using AI, make all this money with this simple, easy website. Make all this money the laziest way you can imagine. You're just going to wake up and roll over. No, you don't even need to roll over. You'll just make all this money. PayPal deposits over and over again. Those are the people who are ruining this genre. And so that's why real content creators who actually share real verifiable jobs like myself are now going to have a lot of problems. And that's where we're at. So back to yesterday, after I go down this rabbit hole and I figure out, okay, this is because they don't want people, I guess, posting that type of content, and it's AI. So AI is leading the charge on this. It's not real humans who are flagging these videos, at least I don't think, because there's so much content that's being uploaded to YouTube every single second. There's no way that a human could be doing the, review process. So I think what it is YouTube, what it seems to me is they are implementing new AI, or they reprogrammed it, whatever. The robot is now a lot more sensitive to content that is about making money online. And so they throw everybody in the genre in the same bucket. So the AI is looking at people who post those fake, job or business things that no one makes any money off of. They're looking at those people the same way that they look at people who are actually posting real legitimate jobs. It's all the same to them. If you're talking about making money online, you're in that genre. So you're in the same bucket as the scammy person who is telling you that you could, I'm not even going to go there. So anyway, late last night, it was almost midnight, I got an email from YouTube and I'm like, okay, this is about the appeal. And I open it and they say, we reviewed it and we denied your appeal. So I officially have a warning on my channel. Now, with a warning, you can still post content. However, if for whatever reason the robot does not like something again, I will get a strike. And after one strike, you cannot post for a week. So if I get a strike, y'all can't hear from me live or in a video for a whole week. Then when I come back, I get a second strike, now I can't post anything for 2 weeks. So if that happens, I will disappear for 2 weeks on YouTube. And then if I get a third strike, there is no coming back from that channel. Poof, it is gone. So I am on a warning. I have an official warning. The warning will go away, I think they said September 10th. And I'm not clear based on their verbiage if after September 10th, if something happens again, will that count as a warning or my first strike? But there's a lot of time between now and September 10th. And I post 5 days a week. So I really hope and pray that I do not get a strike, because then I'm going to have to not post. Now, the other thing is right now, what I've, and I also tweeted, or whatever you call it, let's call it Twitter. Okay. I also tweeted the YouTube channel or the YouTube Twitter page, and they gave me a generic AI response. Like, oh, well, you got the email and they stood by their decision, so that's what it is. I'm just like, whatever. Like this is so silly. This is so silly. And the video's removed. So I also was seeing people say, so there's a lot of people who tweet that page on YouTube. I was seeing people say that they didn't get a warning. They didn't get a strike. They got nothing. Their channel, poof, is gone, which is scary. So apparently YouTube has certain policies where if you violate them, unbeknownst to you or what, channel gone. No warning, no fixing it, no removing the video. The channel is just gone. And that is what can happen to someone who violates certain community guidelines. So that's what happened. Now, y'all, I'm okay. It's a YouTube channel, there's people in the world who are starving, people who have way worse situations, and I don't even want to pretend like woe is me and the sky is falling in. I'm not out of touch here. But it's not fun. And, on the bright side, as I was saying to y'all, I have my email list. So if y'all if for whatever reason my channel goes poof, I have an email list and I can always start a new channel. Like, I don't think you're barred from the platform. And by the way, I follow a lot of content creators who YouTube kicks them off the platform and they come back. And it's a bigger issue. It's a bigger issue than just they're trying to protect people, in my opinion. But before I get off onto that tangent, if you go to the description box of this video, you should see a link to sign up for my emails. If you're already getting emails from me, then you don't need to sign up for emails again. But if you don't currently get emails from me, then click that link in the description box and, just put in your name and email, and then you should get a email that says confirm your subscription. And I send emails every single day. Every single day. I think the only day I don't send emails is Sundays. But if there's something that like I have going on that I want y'all to know about, like, if we're doing a workshop or a sale or something, then occasionally I'll send an email on Sunday. But I email a lot. Every time I post a video, I send an email. So if you're like, Delilah, sometimes YouTube tells me you posted, sometimes they don't, make sure you register for emails. And I send emails like 6 days a week. I send a newsletter every single Saturday. I've done this probably for like the last 7-8 years. And I always send a newsletter and tell, whatever updates or things that are going on. And that way you can, stay in the know. Also, I have that backup channel. So I didn't put that in the description box. Let me find the link to my backup channel. I'm streaming on my main channel and my backup channel right now. So the backup channel is the blue one. The main channel is the pink one. So I'm going to put the link to subscribe to my second channel. I made this second channel back when I was having the invalid traffic issue. And so I was posting on it. The last time I posted on it was probably like January. And I just got really busy with like the workshops and stuff that I do outside of YouTube. I really do HR for real in my own consultancy. And so I've been very busy with all of that. That was part of the reason why I kind of took a little week off last week or the week before last, just because there's so much stuff that I'm doing. Like, I work. So if something bad happened to my YouTube channel, they're not going to snatch the roof from me. My babies are still going to eat. We're still going to be okay. But I really love being able to share and connect with y'all about these work from home jobs and resources. And I always think about, who would I have loved to have found back when I was in the same position? That's why I post so much. And I try and push past all of these YouTube changes and all the mini algorithm changes that have happened over the years that I've been on YouTube. I started on YouTube back in 2017. Like, my very first video was about how to find work from home jobs on Craigslist. I haven't been on Craigslist in a very long time, but that was my very first YouTube video. And I didn't start off YouTube to be like, oh, I'm going to be this big YouTuber. I had just found a lot of really good jobs on Craigslist. I have no clue if it's even a thing anymore. But at the time, back in 2017, I was finding stuff left and right on Craigslist, and I was really getting paid. So that's what my very first video was. And so I think with the changes, I think with the changes that me and my team have discussed, because I have an editor and I have a thumbnail creator for me, and me and my editor have been together since like 2019. So like, he's been in it for the longest. Like, we're always strategizing. We came up with something, and I think it's going to get around the issues that, from reading their articles, what exactly YouTube says that I did wrong. I think it's going to help me get around all of that. So if y'all see me, I'm not gonna, if I'm not saying certain words, or if I'm not, if my videos are a little bit different, you know why. And I'm purposely not going to say certain words, or I'm going to phrase things slightly differently, because I don't want to tip off the algorithm, and I don't want the AI to think that I'm a part of a group of people that I am not a part of and have never been a part of. That's why you'll notice some changes to my videos. Hopefully it doesn't, negatively impact the, watchability. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy, once it's all put together. But if you're like, Delilah, why don't you say this? Or why won't you read that part or say that thing? You know why? Because the algorithm or the AI, whatever, it's all the same thing. It's a robot. It knows what you're saying. And so, like, back in the day, like when I first got on YouTube, you used to have to get your videos transcribed and then upload the transcription text if you wanted your video to have captions. And so it used to be, one of the tips that the YouTubers who make videos about YouTube, they would tell you, if you want to get your video out there more, you can just get it transcribed on Rev, and then you can upload the transcription, whatever, and then you can, get more views that way. But that's old, 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 old. YouTube has been transcribing our videos automatically for a while. So when you say certain things, that makes the algorithm's ears perk up, and the algorithm then knows, oh, okay, you're talking about such and such. And y'all, I hate talking to robots, but I had to figure this out. So I went to Gemini, and Gemini, ironically, gave me way more information about the issues that I am having than the humans that I talked to from YouTube. And they make it to where there's really a wall between the content creator and the platform. So if you're like, oh no, something's happening, who do I talk to? They, in my opinion, they put that little chat thing there where you're talking to a rep from YouTube to make you feel like you're actually getting somewhere, but they're just going to give you a very generic, canned response. When they tell you, oh, let me put you on a brief hold, they're probably just sitting there giggling. They're probably like, hee, she thinks that we're actually looking into something. We're not. And then they're gonna hit you with some canned response that, like, okay, thanks, I saw that already. So I went to Gemini, which is Google's AI, and I got so much good insight as to what could potentially be the issue. And YouTube's AI knows what your thumbnails look like, which is crazy to me because it's an image. So their AI is so advanced to where you can show them your thumbnail in Gemini, and they'll tell you, okay, this is a picture of, someone pointing, and here's the money, and it tells you how much money is listed, and then it tells you like the images and whatnot. And remember, this is a PNG file. This is not a doc file. This is not a PDF file. This is not like a text file. This is an image, and it knows from an image file what the image is, which is mind-blowing to me, because it's like, wait a minute, this is an image. How are you the AI? But that's where they're at with it. That is where they are at with it. So it told me that, based off of YouTube's community guidelines, that it told me the issues that are possibly the reason why my video got taken down. And unfortunately, even if you're putting real information on the thumbnail that you can verify in the video, again, everybody gets lumped into the same bucket. And we are all treated as if we are being deceptive. And as y'all know, I don't do scams. I don't do too good to be true content. I don't do any of that. Okay. If a job pays $15 per hour, I tell you it is $15 per hour. And a lot of channels, they only post jobs that are extremely high pay, but nobody really qualifies for those. But at least if it's extremely high pay, you can put the extremely high pay. And so that's one of the reasons why I started my other channel, because I know people are looking for extremely high pay jobs. I know that it's a smaller group of people who have degrees and higher years of experience, but over the years, it's something that I realized I've been neglecting, because people come to me and they say, Delilah, I'm coming from, 5 years in the healthcare industry. I have my degree in, business administration, and I want to work from home and be, fairly compensated. But, the jobs on my main channel aren't quite a good fit. So then I would tell them, well, go to the mega list of jobs and go through those companies' careers pages and find something for you. If I share a company, the lead probably doesn't work, but go to that company's careers page and find something for you. And so then I was like, you know what? I need to start giving people who are looking for jobs that require degrees the same, level of attention as I do for the non-degree jobs. So that's why I have a separate channel, just so I'm not misleading people who, they're excited to click on it, but maybe they don't have as much experience. So that's why I have the, careers and degrees channel. And then I have the, main channel, which is mostly jobs that just about everybody can qualify for. And any of the jobs that I post on there that require like a couple years of experience, it's in stuff that I've been told from y'all, like, hey, we have our farm tech certification, or, we've been in healthcare for this many years and whatnot. So if you notice on my main channel, I try to stay away from jobs that require degrees. I try to get y'all as much money as I can. I try and look for those jobs where it's like the perfect balance of, not too much experience, not asking for crazy requirements, degree is optional, and then, you're going to get paid something. And I always verify the company. So that's what the main channel is. And then I pieced out the new channel where it's like, okay, maybe not as many people are interested in this content, but at least folks who want to take their talents to the house and not sacrifice pay have options. So I'm glad that I have those other channels. And then like that channel, the blue channel, that's the backup to this. So I might, if the block starts getting a little too hot, have to post on that channel. And, that channel's not monetized. None of those other channels are monetized. Anytime I post a video over there, it is for free. And so only my main channel is monetized, but I don't mind posting on those other channels as long as y'all follow me over there and watch over there. And I don't want it to be a situation where I have to go back and forth, but if that's what it takes, I will do that, because I've been on YouTube for a long time and I've seen this genre get very scammy. And one of the reasons why I got on here was because it was scammy back in 2016 when I started working from home. But there was also a lot of information that just did not exist online. Nobody was talking about resumes and cover letters for remote jobs. Nobody. Okay. They were just talking about resumes in general. I looked into, like, is there a way that you can get more results for your resume and cover letter if you were to tailor it a certain way for remote positions? That's where the remote resume, first it was the resume formula and cover letter formula. I made those courses. And then after that, I realized, like, okay, people don't like fiddling with their resume. So me and my team, we coded the software. That software, it was built from the ground up. It took us like a year and some change to code the software. Like, we're all hands on deck making this software, and we have to do updates and stuff to it. We just did a big update to make it run faster. So, like, all the stuff that I provide as far as resources go, I did that because when I got into this space as, someone who was working from home myself, I realized, like, gee whiz, this would be a whole lot easier if there was somebody who would, create something to make this easier. I have to do all this legwork to figure this stuff out. And then I said, I guess I'm going to have to be that person, because if I have this question, if I'm having, these struggles, if I'm trying to figure this stuff out, I wonder how many other people are trying to figure this stuff out too. So all the stuff that, like, all the content, all the videos, all the resources, the mega list of jobs, extra leads club, the software, you name it, all of that stuff, I made it from the perspective of, gee whiz, I wish I had this. And this would have been very helpful when I was trying to get hired to work from home. And that's where, all these resources come from. So I'm not going to just bow out easily. But, like I said, YouTube, they might decide, hey, we don't want your channel here anymore. And poof. So please make sure you're on the email list and subscribe to the second channel. That's the backup channel. If you're interested in work from home jobs that require degrees, subscribe to that new channel. Let me find that URL for the new channel for degrees and careers. I'll put it in the description or the chat box. Yeah. And also, I always like to respond to y'all's comments. And yesterday, you guys were just showing me so much love when I made that post. And I'm going to respond to the comments right now live. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to give everybody who commented a shout out. So I'm going to share my screen and then I'll look at what y'all are saying. Share. Okay. All right. Okay. So yesterday I was so mad. I was shaking my fist at the wind. Okay. And y'all showed up and showed out, and I'm going to respond to y'all's comments live right now. So Sean Alex 557 said they are hating. I've been watching your YouTube for 3 years, and the job I am currently working for 3 years right now is because of you and your true YouTube channel. Yay! So I can vouch for you and your information. Thank you. Congratulations. For 3 years, you've been working your remote job. That is amazing. Yes, in the name of Jesus, I rebuke all of this nonsense. I'm a prayer warrior. I'm in my Bible daily, y'all. Okay. Cheeky loves cheesecake. Hey, Cheeky, you said, wow, YouTube is so messed up for that. And I know for certain the jobs you post are legit because congratulations, you just landed an interview. Oh, wow. Yay. Let me know how it goes. And then Stacy, she said, I actually watched the video Mutual of Omaha, Cardinal Health, and it was, what is it? The genetic company, Ambry Genetics. That was the third company. So I have shared Mutual of Omaha, Cardinal Health, and Ambry Genetics multiple times on my channel. And she said they were all legitimate and they were ridiculous. They sure were. And, oh, this is interesting. I've heard of lots of channels recently running into issues like this. I watch everything from trial content to React channels to job lead channels. There is suspicion that they have switched to an AI review system that is stricter. That's exactly what I was thinking and not got all figured out yet. Thanks for the update and look forward to seeing more of your YouTube videos when they get it all sorted. Thank you. That is crazy. And you know something else, y'all? I'm gonna come back to the comments in just a second, but when I'm chatting with y'all, I like to be bigger. What I realized when I was trying to search on YouTube for, any video, anything that has to do with this issue, what I realized is YouTube doesn't even really give you good search results anymore. So what happened or what happens when you go to YouTube search? Let's say you type in work from home. Maybe the first 10 to 15 videos will be what you searched for. But then as you start scrolling, the videos that are in the results have nothing to do with anything. It's like videos that they're suggesting to you to go watch. And search is trash. And it's crazy because, YouTube, Google, Google's supposed to be, the best search engine. But I can, attest to the fact that Google used to give way better searches. I don't know what happened, but Google used to be a really good search engine. Now, when you Google something, maybe the first few results are okay. But then, like, after that, it's just like hit or miss. And that's exactly how YouTube search is. If you typed in like how to bake the best cheesecake ever, you'll get maybe 10, 15 videos that are relevant to baking a cheesecake. But after that, like 10th video, it's just going to be like random videos that YouTube is trying to push onto you. So the search feature isn't even good anymore. But let me go back to the comments because I want to read all of them. And then Scorpio Goddess 83 said, "Oh, that is crazy. I watch your videos daily and found my job there. Congratulations. So many people have gotten hired. I wish y'all would tell me as soon as y'all get hired. I want to celebrate with you, okay? But it is good to know that so many people have gotten hired. And I mean, I know a lot of people get hired, but I want to hear every time y'all get hired, okay? It doesn't get old to me. Wow, I was going to watch the replay on break at work. We can't have our phones. I truly appreciate your diligence. Thank you so much, Jay Nisi." And then Nadi said, "Okay, I thought I was tripping because I had a notification thinking on my laptop and it was gone. That's crazy because you would never. YouTube, get it together, please. She's many of the legit accounts we need. Thank you." And then someone said, "I think it's other content creators that are flagging your account." Do y'all think that's what it is? Let me go back to y'all. Do y'all think it's someone flagging my account or do you think it's the robot? I want to know y'all's opinion on this because I just assumed it was the robot. Like, I would never do that to somebody else. Why would someone do that to me? Haters. Do you think so? Maybe so. Maybe so. I think it's the robot, think it's both. Okay, so it's kind of split. Could be both. Thank y'all. Yeah. Okay, let me go back to the comments because I want to read everybody's comment on here. Okay. Someone else said, "Hate that you are having to go through this. It always seems like the scammers get away with so much versus those who are actually in the space trying to help. I work in a fraud department for a healthcare company, and it's some of these videos that is shown through commercials that are scamming our elders and interfering with their Medicare coverage." So is it, I mean, I know more Nikki might not be on here, but I wonder if it's, let me get my thought together. So for example, I have had people reach out to me and I've had people reach out and ask me like, "Hey, Delilah, can you post a job that doesn't have high pay?" Like specifically asking for something like $15 and under. And I'd be like, "Okay, whatever." But then I finally got nosy enough, and I believe it has to do with benefits. So I want to say and I'm not well versed in, SSI and or Social Security disability. But I believe if you're collecting Social Security or maybe a certain benefit, you can't make a certain income or else they'll diminish your benefit. So I think it has something to do with that. I'm not 100%, but if that's the case, and from what that commenter said, it's messing with their Medicare coverage, maybe that's what she means. Like they're trying to, do something and it's making issues, or maybe they're getting scammed. I'm not sure. But back to the comments. So the next comment said, wow, that's crazy. Yes, Kimla, it sure is. And then this commenter said, and I vouch that this sister is 100% genuine and all leads posted are very much real and majority are well-known jobs and companies. Thank you. They are. I would never do that. And then Cheeky Loves Cheesecake said, same here, as well as for Extra Leads Club. I have not landed an interview in over a year using other platforms, but as soon as I signed up for Extra Leads Club, what? Congratulations. Is that the job that you were talking about in the other comment? So Cheeky joined Extra Leads Club 6 days ago and boom, landed an interview for next week. Wow. That, like, when I know y'all think, oh, it gets old, Delilah. It gets old hearing about people getting interviews and getting hired and using your resources. It never, ever, ever gets old, because all of this was just from a place of, hey, I have a problem. Maybe I can help someone else with the same problem. And that just makes me so happy that these resources are resourcing. Okay. Debbie said, could you post it on the gram? I have an Instagram, but I actually get on my Finsta more than I get on my real Instagram. Like my real Instagram has all of my like high school classmates, people I grew up with. And I don't know, I like my Finsta better because that's where like I follow like America's Test Kitchen and This Old House and all of my random old people hobbies that I enjoy. And I don't have to see all the extra stuff. It's like curated for me learning how to paint my house and make a cheesecake. That's what I like. So I'm not really on Instagram like that. And I feel like Instagram is like, I don't know. I feel like Instagram has gotten to the point where, like back in the day, you could post a picture of your salad. You could post a picture of something random. Like Instagram used to be a very like lighthearted, fun platform where you shared photos, and I would actually participate. I'm more of a video person than photo person, which might sound weird, but like I really only focus on YouTube. And that's because I like making videos and watching videos. But now I feel like Instagram has gotten like way too intense. It is all about the flashy. It's about look at my brand new car, look at my mansion, look at my body. Like I follow a lot of like fitness pages because I've been on my fitness, and like I'll follow a page and then I'll just unfollow them because I'm just like, look, I want to learn how to do correct form. I don't want to see your leggings up in all your crevices and all that. Sorry if that's TMI, but it's got to stop. Like, it's annoying. I just want to see the workouts. But anyway, Instagram isn't really like the place where people go to really like learn. It's almost like it's the flex plate. Like you go there to flex. So I don't think my content would really do that well on Instagram. And in the past, we had tried it, but it was not something that I really just felt like was doing anything worth doing. And yeah, so back to these comments here. Back to these comments. Okay. Jay Brown said, oh, wow, interesting, because every link that you provided that I went to were authentic job leads on real company websites. Sounds like BS to me. Seems as though when someone is helping and has legitimate information to share, the powers that be. A fellow tinfoiler, what I also like to call a truther, because y'all, that right there Okay. That right there was one of the very first things that went through my mind. Now, I got to come back on camera to talk to y'all about that because I told y'all briefly when I was talking about what's going on with the channel. I have been following, some content creators for years, like even before I was really like making YouTube videos like that. And I like to watch a lot of the content creators who are in like the Christian content space. They talk about biblical topics, and a lot of them have been facing censorship for probably like the last 3-4 years, really heavy, like really, really heavy, to where like their channels are being taken away, demonetized. They have to create a brand new channel, and they even get like the little misinformation banner put on their video. And it's like, hey, I thought this was YouTube. I thought, you could make a video about what you want to make a video about. I can make a video about what I want to make a video about. But apparently you can't do that. And I also see a push for nonsense content. So, I'm not trying to shade anybody, but like Mr. Beast, the amount of people who have made videos about him and like just how like the editing style has changed because of, his videos and like his content. And it's almost like everybody wants to be the next Mr. Beast. And so it's what I call nonsense content. This ain't really about nothing. We're just here to, chill out. And nothing's wrong with that. Don't get me wrong, because I enjoy watching, my reality TV garbage when I get a chance. Turn your brain off. Just look at it. What are they doing? They're going to Cabo and they're arguing. Okay. So I get it, but it seems like there's a push for people to not get real information. So same thing like how I was saying, you go to the search bar, you try and search. Yes, brain rot. You took the words out of my mouth. Brain rot, okay? That's what it seems like there is a huge push for. They do not want, let me tell you something. Y'all see this phone, okay? Y'all see this phone is connected to the internet. What a lot of people don't really understand or even think about, because in our lifetime, we've never not had opportunity for education. In our lifetime, most of us have never not had access to a library or a book. We grew up being literate. Maybe you struggled a little bit with Cat in the Hat, but you can read, okay? Not all of us, most of us can read, okay? So it's kind of hard to imagine, but this is like a modern thing, being able to become educated, and it's low barrier to entry to become educated. Education used to be something only reserved for the elite, the upper class. Okay. It's the 1800s. You grew up on a farm. Okay. You're either a slave or you are a sharecropper. You don't need to know how to do a whole lot of reading, writing, and arithmetic. Okay. So the fact that now we can just go to our phones, whether it's Google, YouTube, DuckDuckGo, do they still have Ask Jeeves? I don't know. They used to have Ask Jeeves when I was a kid. Okay. You can go on there and you can find out any and everything that you want to find out. And that's causing problems, because instead of being chained to a job that you hate, instead of being chained to a location that you don't want to be in, maybe you grew up in a bad area, you can get on your phone. You can get on the local library's computer. You can connect to the internet, and you can literally learn any and everything that you want to learn. And people are becoming very wealthy. People are becoming super wealthy from just having access to information. And that's a problem. And that honestly is where my mind goes when there's all of this like censorship, and all of this, taking down of content, and you can't even talk to a real person. It's just running through the robot, and the robot's just taking stuff down because the robot doesn't understand nuance. And the other thing too that I think about is the fact that there's even an algorithm. Because I will tell y'all, okay, I was chronically online as a child, okay? I'm a millennial. So back in the day, okay, I remember we got a computer. We went to Atlanta. My brother was at Morehouse at the time, and he took us to this like computer shop. And, we're going to Atlanta to get us a computer. Okay, I used to have to go to my cousin's house to get on the computer. And when I got on the computer, I was on the computer the whole time. My cousin lived at my grandma's house. And so I'd be like, ooh, can I go to grandma's house? And I was going to grandma's house just to get on the computer. Okay. And so when we finally got our computer, and, we got the DSL boy, we got it hooked up, we don't have to use that AOL disc that they would send through the mail. We got DSL now. Okay. Soon as I get off the bus, I'm running to the house, book bag and all. I'm in the house. Shut the door. Get me something to eat. I'm on the computer and I ain't getting off. I'm programming my MySpace page. See, first you had to start off with Zanga, okay? And Zanga wasn't even the first one. You start off with Blogspot. Now, depending on where, okay, because I was chronically online, okay? Depending on your little group, okay, you might have gone to Bebop. We didn't do Bebop, or was it Bebo? Tell me in the chat if anyone knows what I am even talking about, okay? Do y'all remember Bebo? Does anybody remember Bebo? Does anyone remember Zanga? This is middle school days for me, okay? So I was on Zanga, like my school, we were on Zanga. And Zanga, we were, posting photos, you do your little survey, okay? And then we upgraded to MySpace. And MySpace, listen, those were some good days. We were all coding. And I remember this one, what was it called? It was, this girl had this website called, I think it was called whateverlife.com. And she had like all of these, what do they call them on Zanga? It wasn't wallpapers. Is that what they, tell me in the chat, what was it called? Was it wallpapers? How you do your MySpace, and like you could have like the glitter hearts and stuff. What was it called? It wasn't wallpapers, was it? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Somebody got to remember. That's gonna bother. Layouts. Thank you. Yes. And then you do your top 8. Okay. That was serious. That was gonna cause problems. And then if you were really coding with Crisco, you got the little music player. Okay. And you could have like songs on there. And I remember I had got in trouble because my brother told on me because I had this like Lil Wayne song on there. And and he was, he was cussing and stuff. And my brother was like, Delilah's got this bad song on her MySpace. So anyway, those were the days. Okay. I bring all of that up to say we did not need an algorithm to be on the internet for a very long time. I was chronically online for free with no algorithm, figuring out what I want to spend all my time doing brain rot with. Okay. All my time on the internet. But now we have algorithms. Okay. We've got algorithms. Why? There were viral videos before algorithms. They say it's so that we can have a better user experience. That's what they say. They say it's so that we can have a more pleasant experience using their platforms to find content that we want to watch. That's what they say. I don't think that's what it is at all. I honestly think, whether you want to call me a tinfoiler, let me put that tinfoil hat on. I think it's to make sure that we can't get access or suppress information. It's so that you don't find information or the type of information that could actually make you have a transformation. So, like, for example, if all you're inundated with are young men playing video games and you're a young man, guess what you probably want to do when you grow up? You probably want to be a video game content creator. But what if a lot of the content that you saw, you just organically stumbled upon? All the YouTubers who are still doing YouTube that haven't left the platform, I've been rocking with them since years and years ago. Like, I remember on YouTube watching the natural hair community come to be. I remember I was in like 10th or 11th grade. I want to say it was in like 10th grade. I remember watching a video on YouTube where this lady was talking about like the max hydration method. And it was just like a regular video. Like, she wasn't doing all this talking, because back then you didn't do all that talking on YouTube. Okay. You get to it. You don't got to do anything for the algorithm. You just get to it. And at the time, my hair was relaxed. And so I was like, maybe I could take some of these styles that I'm seeing and like help, stretch out my relaxer and grow my hair. And then, am I in YouTube jail? Huh? Oh, maybe not. I don't know. So I was going to say YouTube jail. I'm like, oh no. and YouTube will start playing with your live stream when you start talking too much sense. But anyway, I remember watching all of this happen. Like, I watched a lot of internet things happen in real time because I was chronically online. Yes, I was. Okay. Back in the day on YouTube. Okay. See, we start talking about these young folks on TikTok. You and your little TikTok dance, all this tripping out business and whatnot. We did it first on YouTube. I can't even talk about folks. Like, we were on YouTube. Listen, I wasn't always saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, but I remember Twerk Team. I remember J Smooth. Okay. I remember all the, like, it was weird, and where were our parents at? I wasn't doing this. I was just watching it, y'all. I was just watching it. Okay. But I remember like the group, like it'd be like a group of 3 guys or a group of like 4 girls, and they'd all be doing a choreographed dance to something Pretty Ricky or whatever. Okay. Do y'all remember that? Or was it just me? Like that. And then when Soldier Boy came out, everybody was cranking that. We'd be cranking that in the cafeteria after school. Like, watch me hit my bird. Listen, okay. So y'all remember all of this. We did not need an algorithm. So why do we have an algorithm? So we can have a better viewer experience. And when people start sharing too much real information, yank. Can't have that. No, I was watching. Listen, I was watching it. Everybody was watching it. You had to know what was going on in the world. Okay. I was just watching it. But that was the old days. That was back in the day. But y'all remember all of that. Y'all do. And we had a good time on the internet. Algorithm free. Mm-hmm. Let's see what y'all are saying. Y'all are gonna make me tell on myself. I was a good kid. Good kid. Mm-hmm. I wasn't doing all that. Too old for that era. I was the Temptations. Jackson 5. Everyone had their thing in their generation, okay? Everybody had their thing, so we can't talk too bad about the TikTok and generation. Yeah, all the AOL. Yep. Mm-hmm. Saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's part of growing up for sure. And the internet was a fun place, but now the internet isn't such a fun place. Y'all want to know what else since we're on here chatting, I have time. I do need to go to the grocery store before traffic gets bad. I do need to go to the grocery store, but I have time. I have time to go. And then got to get the kids. Oh, what else are y'all saying? Mary J. Blige and Jodeci. They're in the playlist, if you want to have a good time, listen to a little Mary J, little Jodeci. But yeah, what was I about to say? So we don't need an algorithm. We don't need one at all. What's your theory? You said, I have a theory where I think they would prefer people to not get good and informative content like this because it helps. Yes. Okay, so I'm not alone in this theory. I really, truly believe that it's just for the suppression of information. Because if you think about it, I know I'm on YouTube and technically I'm a YouTuber, but if you think about pre-YouTube and social media days, if you were going to have a business and a successful business, you probably would have to have a storefront or like a brick and mortar. If you were able to, do it without that, there's a whole lot of hustle, a whole lot of street smarts and whatnot involved in that. So the barrier to entry has gotten lower, and people have become millionaires from putting blush on. People have literally become millionaires from playing video games. And I think they have a problem with that. What's the little boy's name? Kai Cenat. I think he's the number one streamer. I'm happy for him. But when you really think about it, it's wait a minute, you played video games and you became a millionaire. I played video games for free. Actually, I rented video games. Okay. I would go to Blockbuster Video. Okay. I would go to Video Warehouse. Okay. And I would rent Grand Theft Auto. And I would be on the game all night long playing Grand Theft Auto. I wasn't really doing the missions. I was just joyriding and playing. And then, rut row, I only got a few hours of sleep. It's Saturday night and I got to get up for Sunday school. And I didn't really sleep. But it's okay because I'm young and I don't need that much sleep. I'd be up all night playing Sims. Yeah, all night playing Sims. Yep, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Yep. Sims, your Sim. I had the cheat codes too. Okay, I had the cheat codes, and they were very finicky. Your Sims would be about not alive because you can't say certain words because of YouTube censorship, and it was just spending time on the internet, chronically online. Oh yeah, Super Mario. See, I have older brothers, so we had every game system you can think of. We had an Atari, we had the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo. Now we didn't have a Sega, but the kids down the street would come over and bring their Sega. And I remember my brothers, they would have the kids down the street, we'd all be in our living room and they'd just be playing video games for hours and hours and hours. So what these, little kids are doing with the streaming, playing video games, people been doing that. And one summer I was determined to, beat the entire Mario thing. So every day I'm on Super Nintendo playing Mario, beat it. Then I had Crash, what was it? It was Crash Team Racing. And they had it to where like it was not just the one-off races. You could do I guess I was a little bit of a gamer now that I think about it, because I beat the whole thing. I didn't even realize that. I was playing video games and on the internet all day. So didn't need an algorithm, could figure out what I wanted to watch when I wanted to. And that's what I would do. Yep, Crash Bandicoot. And then Spyro. Is it called Spyro or Spiral? What was it? Let me look it up. Spyro. Was it Spyro? Yeah, it was called Spyro. Does anyone remember that one? I played that one. I loved Spyro. Spyro the Dragon. Yep. We had a good old time. Algorithm free. And now that I'm grown and we got bills to pay and we got kids and families, we need real helpful information. And we need these messages to go forth. So make sure y'all have make sure y'all subscribe to my email list. The link is in the description box. And make sure y'all are subscribed to my backup channel. Make sure you can get my emails. And I'm just praying that I don't have any more issues with YouTube, and that the changes that I plan on making actually work, but we shall see. Frogger, Legend of Zelda, Rad Racer. I'm really telling my age. Donkey Kong. I love me some Donkey Kong. I gotta get me a what is it, a Switch? Maybe I should get back into gaming a little bit. I had thought about Rumble a couple years ago, but the thing about Rumble is most people so here's the thing. I'm not against getting on Rumble, but YouTube is where everybody is at. So, when people think like, I need a new job, or I'm trying to figure out, what I'm going to do next, most people either go to Google or YouTube and they, sort of feed back into each other. With Rumble, it's the folks who, a lot of us with our tinfoil hats, we're over on Rumble. So it's hard to introduce videos to a new audience over there. And that's the one downside. If everybody was using Rumble, then say less. I'm over on Rumble, but it is hard to reach new people over there. And I do share on Pinterest too. So definitely, I'm going to up my Pinterest. Like, we share all the videos on LinkedIn, Pinterest. I even share the videos on Twitter, even though I'm not on Twitter often. I do share over there. I share them to my personal Facebook page. And me and Facebook have a interesting relationship. I do have a community over there on Facebook for people who are in the courses and whatnot. I got to do better with Facebook. It's just Facebook I've been in Facebook jail more than I've been in YouTube jail. Facebook is actually worse than YouTube. I don't know if y'all know that, but Facebook is way worse than YouTube because Facebook does not want you leaving Facebook. At least with YouTube, they're okay with you putting links and stuff, but Facebook, if you put a link that's going to take someone away from Facebook, they'll be like, we got to shut this down. So I can't even link Facebook videos. I mean, I can't even link my website on Facebook. The most I can do is my YouTube channel. Facebook will let me do my YouTube channel. And they've even wiped the shared post off of Facebook before, like multiple times. And then they'll start letting me post my YouTube videos again. So it's all of these platforms are just something else. Who's hiring? He said, I hope it's okay with you that I mentioned the Census Bureau is hiring. I worked for the 2020 count and 2010 Right now we are at the halfway point. Oh, that's cool. I want to say, I feel like I may have, let me go to my channel. Let me go to my channel because I faintly remember, and maybe I just seen something, but let me check. Let's see. I feel like I had seen something about that. I mean, it was years ago. But maybe I didn't post that one. A lot of videos. Let's see. Okay, anyway, I just wanted to check on that. Because I see so many leads and I'll be thinking that I've shared a company before, but it was just me looking at the leads. I didn't actually share. They will. And that's another thing too. So my video from yesterday that got taken down, they said that it was, let me look at the exact term because I want to get the exact term right that they told me my video was under or considered. Let me. So the exact term that they used for my video was that it was harmful and dangerous content. YouTube said that my video, where I was talking about cardinal health and Ambry genetics and the other one, was harmful and dangerous. Meanwhile, okay, name your favorite girly rapper. She's probably doing something that would be on OnlyFans in the video. And they can post that. And that's okay. But me talking about jobs, that's harmful and dangerous. I'm sorry that I posted harmful and dangerous content, you guys. I didn't mean to. That was on me. It was harmful and dangerous. Yeah. Yeah. Harmful and dangerous. Sure was. Yep. Yep, Michelle, it was harmful and dangerous. Yep. I'm sorry. I did not mean to do that. I'll do better next time. I had to do a little YouTube training and I had to do a multiple choice questionnaire on what's considered harmful and dangerous. And I posted something harmful and dangerous. I sure did. I'm taking full accountability, YouTube. YouTube AI, do you hear that? I'm taking full accountability that these legitimate jobs that anyone could find on the job boards, but we're all really busy with our kids and living life and our jobs. So if someone just decided, hey, let me throw you a couple of hot leads you didn't have to search for, it was bad. I did a bad thing. Yeah. Yep. Taking accountability, YouTube. You hear that, robot? I feel like a bozo talking to a robot, but that's where we're at in 2025. This isn't dystopic at all. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 You preaching, Michelle. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's what we're up against, y'all. Okay. If I could say anything, because I watch as much YouTube as I make. If I could say anything from being on both sides of YouTube, watching YouTube, making YouTube, we got to start voting with our thumbs. Okay. We are smarter than robots. I thought people programmed robots, you know? I thought people told robots what to do. Okay. But now it's the other way around. The robots are telling people what to do. I didn't get to talk to anybody. I'm pretty sure on Twitter, X, whatever they want to call themselves now, it was just an automatic reply because they sent that to everybody. To everybody. It was the same thing. All these people, hey, I lost my channel. Hey, I got a strike. Hey, I got something. And it was the same canned response. Everything is the same canned response. So it's the robots running the show now. And we just got to do what the robots say or don't participate at all. And I got to tell y'all, I strongly considered, what if I just didn't participate on YouTube at all? And, I'm going to take it day by day. Because I be getting mad, y'all. I be getting real mad. As nice as I am, as nice and easygoing as I am, I be getting real mad. And I'm like, how dare they? And it's just crazy because now we got to go through a robot for literally everything. I've heard the term Substack. I have to look into that. I have no clue what that is. No clue. I'm going to look into that. Thanks for mentioning that. They don't want to hire people. They want to hire robots. It has. It has certainly become a joke. But yeah, what I'm saying, you have to vote with your thumbs. Next time you see a video that you're like, hey, this is a good video, even if that's not what you're trying to do, maybe just watch like 10 seconds of it and then go somewhere else. That way, we can program the robot to know that we don't want Mr. Beast brain rot. We want real information, real videos that are valuable. When it comes to YouTube, you would think that, like, okay, if someone has 200,000 subscribers, 2 million subscribers, those content creators are making better content than someone who has 2,000 subscribers. But that's not true. On YouTube, okay, there's stuff that you can control. But if anyone's being straight up with you about like YouTube success and whatnot, a lot of it isn't up to you. You can have great content. You can have a great topic, title, thumbnail, all the things that they tell you to do. And that certainly does help. But there is definitely an element that is out of your hands as a creator because of the algorithm. Now, if there were no algorithms, it would be a different story. But if you've noticed, like when you log on to YouTube, as soon as you log on, there's a video right there that starts playing. And that video that's right there that starts playing, if you were to swipe out of YouTube and you open the app back up, it might be right there front and center again. You swipe out of YouTube, you come back. You're just in a scroll hole going from one app to the next. You go back, you go back to YouTube. Maybe you might scroll for like a couple of videos, but that same video is right there. YouTube promotes certain videos. So when someone, who you're like, wow, this person should have more subscribers, this person should have more views, like this is really good content. Algorithm. versus, someone who, this person, all they do is post scammy jobs, or it's not even a job, it's scammy opportunities. Click this, get PayPal over and over again. Those people get 400,000 views, million subscribers, YouTube sharing their video every which way they can. It has nothing to do with quality of content a lot of times. So support small creators. If you like someone's content, support them. Like a lot of my favorite content creators, like I was saying, they are not huge content creators at all. Most people would never even really know them. If you know, you know, and I be watching every video they put out, but their channels aren't these big channels. And it's like, why is this channel getting all these views, and why is that channel, got all these subscribers and whatnot? Algorithm. Like I benefit from the algorithm. Even with the downsides, I benefit from the algorithm. There are a lot of other, I don't want to say a lot of others, but there are other content creators in this space whose channels should be 100 times bigger than they are. Like they post really great content. Like I don't watch a lot of it, but when I do see, it's like, hey, I'm gonna like that, I'm gonna watch that, I want to give you engagement, if that even matters anymore. And that's the thing with the algorithm, they never tell you exactly what they want you to do. Like everyone who talks about like, oh, this is how the algorithm works, this is algorithm update, it's just speculation. Like the way I figure out what the algorithm likes is from trial and error. I'll post a video and it's like, oh, okay, people liked that one. YouTube is promoting that one. I'll post a very good video. That one doesn't do so great, but that's okay because the information is out there. Once I put it out there, do with it what you want to do with it. They want us all unemployed. I think so. Yeah, so when you open the app, the video just starts playing, and YouTube will send notifications for some people's videos. And, a lot of the stuff that they used to tell you, like turn on your notifications and all of that, that used to apply. But I'll watch someone's video while I'm in like a scroll hole, and like I might watch one of their videos. And then like 2 days later, YouTube sends me a push notification to my phone and says like, watch this video from this creator. And I'm like, I'm not even subscribed to them. Like, you have to be subscribed to turn on notifications. But then when it comes to my videos where people are actually subscribed with their notifications on, sometimes YouTube doesn't even tell people. That's why I send an email every time. Amen. So I'm not crashing out over any of this. I know that what I do and share has helped so many people. And I do this because, we want to be closer to our families. Like, yeah, you can't hold your baby while you're working, but it sure does feel a whole lot better when you don't got to go up and down that highway and your baby's in the other room and you're right here and you're working, whether you got to be on the phones, whether, you're in a meeting. It's just so much more peaceful. Like you don't have to worry about it's pouring outside and I got to, get on the east-west connector where for some reason people think that this is the Autobahn and there's 2-3 crashes a day. Okay. Very specific. But you don't got to go up and down that highway. You can do it right at the house. So whatever God has for me, he has for me. And I'll be on here. I'm going to try to play along with YouTube. But, hey, subscribe to the email. And that way, if I go somewhere, y'all know where I go. They sure do. They sure do. And I never, oh, don't watch that person, don't watch this person. I never do any of that, And like I said, YouTube tells me who y'all watch, That's why we got to vote with our thumbs, watch stuff that you want to see more of, even if it's not something relevant to you at the time. At least, maybe we have a chance at programming the robot. But someone tells me they want the robot to do what the robot's doing, and nothing's going to change with that robot. But maybe I'm being cynical. And, it also makes sense that, work from home might be a little bit under attack because everybody is making a push for in-person work. So that too could be playing a part in why they are looking at the make money online niche, which is such a huge bucket. Technically, I fall into that niche, but I don't talk about, anything other than work from home. Like, I talk about work from home jobs, but that niche could include business. It could include, AI, not AI, what's it called? Bitcoin. What's the other thing? They got all these things. Well, I guess making money with AI, all of that. That's the big thing. So it's a big bucket. Yeah, and when I saw that it was taken down, I was just like, I hope people don't think I was scamming. Like, don't play with my name and my reputation. Don't play with it, YouTube. Like, I was like, ooh, I hope people who, are seeing this warning on there, I hope they don't think that I'm scamming, because I'm not. But that's what some people will conclude. And that's defaming. And, I didn't want to mention that, Jacqueline. I did not want to mention that because I don't want to bring attention on the other content creators in this space. I don't want YouTube to do this to any of the other like the ones who are legit. Okay. If you're not legit and you're posting all that PayPal payments and make AI faceless channels, you got what you got coming to you. But there are a lot of people who, they post good stuff too. And I don't want to bring attention to them because it's like, I don't want other people to be brought into this mess. But there are other people who post wild claims, wilder than mine. Technically, they're posting work from home jobs. And I don't post wild claims, but you get what I'm saying. Like, they'll post, stuff that would certainly fall under that same category. So, YouTube hasn't done anything to them, and I don't want them to. I don't want anyone to have this problem. I don't. Hopefully they don't. I hope that they don't, start doing that. And I hope that they don't retroactively, start flagging stuff, because I've got like 1,400 videos. So that would be bad. You only need 3 strikes and you're out. Thankfully, I don't have any strikes, but I do have an official warning. So I'm treading lightly here. And there isn't. Okay, there's no reason why I need to go into an office. We know what it looks like. You get up, you got to get dressed, you got to eat, you got to, get your lunch and stuff together. You get in the car. If you're in Atlanta like me, anywhere you go is going to take double the amount of time it should take for you to go. You go to the office. You get into the office. Bob wants to chat. How's your weekend? We can't really talk about anything real in the office, but we're going to talk. I don't really like small talk. Okay. And then now I'm sitting down at my desk and I got to answer phones. I got to, type on the keyboard. It's Susie's birthday. They got cake in the break room. Come on, everybody. So now I got to go and I want some cake. Okay. But I also have deadlines to meet. Okay. And so, your day gets eaten up. You still got to deliver what you said you were going to deliver on time. And you got to go fight that traffic back home. I could have done all of this from the house and save my gas. So that to me, there is no reason why I need to go into the office to answer phones and type. Remote work is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And that's the thing. I've been seeing more and more amazing hot leads. Okay? More and more amazing hot leads. It's not going anywhere, but they want content creators to go somewhere. This could have been an email. A surprise Pikachu face. Yeah, it's probably a scam. Yes, and then the time that you got to be in the office. Just today at my son's school, they had the Father's Day breakfast, and my husband, he can telecommute. He's been going into the office, and he can telecommute if he wants to. He was able to go sit down and eat school breakfast for the Father's Day thing. And I did that for Mother's Day. It's nice to have the flexibility. You're not in the office. You don't got to go from one end to the other. I lived in the same area when I worked for Berkshire, and that office was in Alpharetta. So y'all know, okay, if you know, you know. If you're in Atlanta, okay, getting from where you're at in Atlanta to Alpharetta during certain hours of the day, you do not want that commute. Thankfully, I was always gone in another state because I had to travel for my job. So we had about 1 week a month where it was supposed to be called home time. Home time meant you go into the office. Now, I'm not moving to Alpharetta. It was beautiful there, but that wasn't my speed. Fresh out of college, I need to be in the city. Okay, so I would do my little commute. And it wasn't a little commute because there was plenty of times where I was quite late to work because of traffic. It wasn't my fault. I would have got there on time. And, we had flexibility because it was really just for us to do admin stuff. But the majority of the time, we were in our territories. So my territory was Virginia and parts of Georgia. And then I would fly out with the other marketers to their territories and see what the insurance market was like out there. So the year that I did that job, I was literally everywhere. It was like, once I fly out to Virginia, I fly back to Georgia. I'm flying out to Texas. I'm flying back here. I'm flying out to Arizona, flying back to Georgia, flying out to Omaha, flying back here, flying out to Florida. Like, it was constant. I had so many Sky Miles, so many hotel points. That's what burnt me out. And that's how I found remote work. It was not on purpose. It was an accident. It was a happy accident. And that's when I was like, I'm never going to stop telling anybody who's got ears about remote work. Okay. Do you got an ear? Do you got one? Do you got two? I'm going to tell you about remote work. That was my mentality after that. It was a lot. It was traveling, plane travel and going to another state was better than the commute. That's how bad the commute was. I would rather go to Hartsfield, hop on a plane, rent a car, drive an hour to a meeting than to go from point A to point B, hitting that commute. I was sick of it. Sick of that commute. So I was so glad when I ditched the commute and the business travel altogether. But yeah, all in all, I am hopeful that the new things that I'm gonna do to my videos to make them YouTube friendly don't get me in trouble. So, if you are like, Delilah, why won't you say that word? Or if my titles or my thumbnails are, just a little bit different, okay, hang with me, stick with me. I'm trying to make sure that I don't get in trouble and get my platform removed. So I'm doing workarounds to figure it out. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm one of those things I can tell y'all right now, I am not going to be saying out loud verbally the pay. I'm not going to say the pay. I will highlight with my mouse the pay. I will go to their glass door and you and me both can see the pay. I might say something like, hey, you see that? Okay, we see that. But I will not be saying the word pay because that's a problem, apparently. Even though it's right there. And then as well as like the thumbnail, I can't list the pay there. So it's going to be a surprise on the inside. How much does this pay? I could have saved time. If I'm looking for something not a dime less than $25 per hour, I could have saved time if Delilah could put it on the thumbnail, but Delilah can't put it on the thumbnail because AI can read the thumbnail and knows exactly what the thumbnail says, even with it being an image file. So you're just going to have to find out. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And then also too, with the links, right now, I don't think the links are a problem, but they may have to live on my website. I'm going to try it out where the links are still in the description box. I like providing the links. I don't like not providing the links. I know some people, they already have it to where, hey, I'm not giving you the link. Go find the link. I like to make it convenient. No shade to anybody. But if the links aren't there in the description box, I'll let you know where you can go get the links. So we'll find out if that's a problem. So I won't be mentioning the pay. We'll just have to see it with our own 2 eyeballs. I guess 4 if you're counting my eyeballs and yours. I can't put it on the thumbnail to let you know. Okay. They even had a problem with some of the things that I mention on the thumbnail. I can't tell you much of anything. You're just going to have to click and find out. Now, that's not clickbait. Me telling you up front what to expect before you click on it, giving you something to think about so that you can click on it. That's clickbait. But me making you click on the video to get information is not clickbait. Got it. Understood, YouTube. Not clickbait. So yeah. This is 2025 and we're dealing with robots. All right, y'all. I am happy, okay? I'm not gonna crash out about YouTube, but I just gotta let y'all know what's going on. I'm happy. I've got blessed assurance. Okay. Things come, things go. I got my salvation. So that's all I need in this world. And for the next one. So I am going to I'm gonna log off. It's Friday. I hope y'all have a good weekend. My oldest has swim lessons tomorrow. They probably want to go outside. My 9-month-old, he is way too advanced. Like he's way too smart. It's weird how smart and advanced he is. So he wants to be like, I know what he wants. He wants to be outside too. So we're probably gonna be outside playing at the park, bubbles, chalk. My son probably wants to ride his car. My weekends are filled with kid activities. And when they finally go to bed at night, that's when mommy scrolls and watches her reality TV garbage. That's what I do. So I hope y'all have a safe and blessed weekend. And Monday, y'all pray for me on Monday. I'm going to be back on YouTube, God willing. And we're going to see if YouTube plays games with me. If they do, y'all already know what to do because we talked about it. So get y'all something good to eat today. Fridays, I'm going to tell y'all something about me before I go. And I need to know y'all's opinion. Is Chili's basic? You know, Chili's, the restaurant? I love Chili's. You know what my order is from Chili's? And I give myself one out to eat meal a week. Okay. I want for the budget. Okay. I've been watching my Dave Ramsey. I said, Dave, you speak a lot of good stuff. I get myself one out to eat meal a week. The rest of the week, I'm eating like my baked chicken and whatnot. I'm hitting them push-ups. We got a gym in the garage. I be working out now. I love Chili's. My order is an old timer with cheese, the French fries, because I do the 3 for me. I get the chips and the salsa. And if I really want to add some razzle dazzle, I get the guacamole. Yes, the Southwest egg rolls. Okay. Is Chili's basic? My husband says this is the most basic food ever. But he's like, okay, where do you want to go? Chili's. That's where I want to go. I love Chili's. No, Chili's isn't basic. Maybe it is. But you know what? 3 for me? 10, what is it? $10.99, $10? It's a good burger. Okay, y'all. I gotta go. Y'all take care. Okay. Bye.